Welcome to our module on advanced front-end development, where we will explore modern techniques for building robust user interfaces. Our focus today will be on mastering React.js, a powerful library for creating dynamic and interactive user experiences. Today, we will dive into understanding React.js, a fundamental library in modern web development. React.js is essentially a JavaScript library, specifically designed for efficiently building user interfaces. Let's begin by examining the core aspects that define React.js as a library. It is a powerful JavaScript library originally developed and maintained by Facebook. React.js helps us build dynamic and highly interactive user interfaces very efficiently. A key feature is its ability to use small, self-contained, and reusable components. One of React's main strengths lies in its component-based architecture for structuring applications. React applications are constructed from many small, independent, and highly reusable components. This approach significantly promotes modularity in your code and enhances component reusability across your project. Next, let's discuss the virtual DOM, a core concept behind React's performance. The virtual DOM is a lightweight, in-memory representation of the actual document object model. React uses this virtual DOM to update only the necessary parts of the user interface, optimizing performance. Finally, let's talk about React's declarative syntax, which simplifies UI development. With declarative syntax, you simply describe the desired final state of your user interface. React then efficiently takes care of all the underlying steps to render and update those components for you. Now, let us explore the key advantages that React.js offers for modern user interface development. Understanding these benefits will highlight why React.js is a preferred choice for many projects. React ensures high efficiency by selectively updating and rendering only the components that have changed. This optimization is largely achieved through its innovative use of the virtual DOM, improving performance. Components in React are designed to be highly reusable, significantly reducing overall development time and effort. This reusability allows developers to build complex applications more quickly and maintain them easily. React offers great flexibility, making it easy to integrate with other JavaScript libraries and frameworks. This adaptability means you can combine React.js with various tools to suit your project's specific needs. React benefits from a rich ecosystem, featuring a large community and many helpful tools. Popular tools like React Router and Redux simplify advanced use cases, enhancing development capabilities. To kickstart your first React project, let us walk through the steps for getting started with Create React App. This quick setup process will allow you to begin building your React application efficiently. The first step is to install Node.js, which is essential for running React development tools. You can download and install Node.js directly from its official website, nodejs.org. Next, we will create a brand new React application using a command line tool. To do this, simply run npx create. After creating the application, navigate into your newly created project directory. You can enter the project folder by typing cd my app into your command line interface. Finally, you can start the development server to see your React application in action. Just run the npm start command and your application will open in your web browser. Let us delve into the fundamental building blocks of React. Focusing on components and JSX, we will see these concepts in action, with practical examples making your understanding clearer. A functional component is written as a standard JavaScript function that returns JSX. These components often use hooks, such as useState, for managing state within the component. Here is an example of a simple functional component named greeting, which displays Hello React. A class component is an ES6 class that extends React.component for its functionality. These components manage state using this .state and implement various lifecycle methods. This code demonstrates a class component named greeting, which renders the same Hello React message. JSX or JavaScript XML is a syntax extension that combines HTML like markup with JavaScript logic. JSX makes defining user interfaces intuitive and highly readable. bridging the gap between markup and code. This example shows JSX in action, embedding a JavaScript variable name directly within HTML. Today, we will explore how to manage data and interactions effectively within your React components. We will learn how React components communicate with each other and respond to various changes in data. Let us start with props, which are short for properties, a fundamental concept in React. Props are used to pass immutable, read-only data from a parent component down to its child components. By using props, we can make our components very dynamic and easily reusable across the application. When you use props, they are passed into components just like attributes in JSX syntax. Next, we will discuss state, which is crucial for managing data that changes over time. State is specifically designed to manage data that is mutable and can change within a single component. Unlike props, state represents mutable data that the component itself can update and control. In modern functional components, you will manage state using the useState hook. Now, let's move on to how React handles various user interactions through event handling. React uses a standard camel case naming convention for all its event handlers, like onClick. For event handlers, you typically pass a reference to a function that will be executed when the event occurs. For instance, on click equals handle, click shows how to assign a click event handler. Let us discuss global state management using the React context API. This powerful feature allows you to efficiently share state across your entire component tree. React.createContext is used to create a new context object designed to hold and manage shared data. This context object allows you to avoid prop drilling by making data available to all child components. The provider component wraps your application, or a part of it, to supply shared state to its descendants. Any component nested within the provider can then access the shared data it provides. The useContext hook is a powerful tool that allows any child component to easily access the shared state. This hook simplifies consuming context values directly within functional components, promoting cleaner code. Next, we will explore Redux architecture, a predictable state container for JavaScript applications. Redux provides a structured approach to managing application state, especially in larger, more complex projects. The store is the central hub in Redux, acting as a single source of truth for your application's viewable state. It holds all the state data, making it accessible and predictable throughout your application. Actions are plain JavaScript objects that describe what happened or the type of state change needed. They are the only way to trigger state changes, ensuring a clear and explicit flow of data. Reducers are pure functions that take the current state and an action, then return a brand new state. They specify how the application's state changes in response to various actions, maintaining predictability. Dispatch is a method used to send actions to the Redux store, initiating state changes. When you dispatch an action, it signals the store to update its state using the appropriate reducer. Today, we will discuss choosing the right state management tool for your React applications. We will specifically compare the context API with Redux to help you make an informed decision. Let us consider various features for evaluating state management solutions. First, we will look at the overall complexity involved in setting up and using each tool. Next, we will consider the ideal use cases and application sizes suitable for each option. Then, we will examine how each tool structures and organizes the viewable state within your application. Finally, we will note whether the solution requires an external library or is built in. Now, let's explore the characteristics of the React context. API in detail. The context API is generally quite simple and straightforward to set up and implement. It is particularly well suited for small to medium-sized applications requiring global state. State managed with context. API tends to be more localized and less rigidly structured. A significant advantage is that the context API is already built directly into React itself. Next, let us examine the characteristics and approach of the Redux state management library. Redux is generally more complex to set up and requires more boilerplate code initially. It is typically recommended for medium to large scale applications with complex state requirements. Redux promotes a centralized and highly structured approach to managing your application state. Unlike Context API, Redux requires you to install it as an external library. Let us begin by exploring how to navigate within React applications, creating a smooth user experience. We will focus on implementing dynamic routing, effectively using the powerful React Router library. First, let's understand that React Router is a crucial library for handling navigation in your applications. It is specifically designed to manage routing within single-page applications, providing a seamless experience. Essentially, React Router maps different URL paths to their corresponding React components for display. This allows users to navigate between views without triggering a full page reload, improving performance. Now, let's look at the core routing components that React Router provides for building your navigation. The browser router component is essential. It wraps your entire application to enable routing functionality. The routes component is then used to define a collection or set of all the individual routes in your application. And finally, the route component is where you specify a URL path and link it to a particular React component. Moving on, let's discuss how users can actually navigate through your React application. You will typically use the link component for standard client-side navigation, creating clickable links. For more advanced scenarios, the use navigate hook allows you to control navigation programmatically based on logic. Next, we will explore how to create dynamic routes that can adapt to different data. You can pass dynamic data through URL parameters like an ID in a profile path. To retrieve these dynamic URL parameters within your component, you will use the useParams hook. Let us summarize the key takeaways from our module on advanced front-end development. These essential concepts are crucial for building modern, high-performance web applications. React.js builds dynamic user interfaces using reusable components and the efficient virtual DOM. Core concepts include components, JSX, props, state, and handling various user interactions. Context API is for lightweight global state, while Redux offers centralized, predictable state management for large applications. React Router enables dynamic navigation and nested routes, crucial for single-page applications. Effective state management and routing are absolutely crucial for developing scalable front-end applications. Furthermore, API integration and robust error handling are critical for connecting front-end with back-end services.